great find from Home Reflections, one of our own decor brands. And if you're looking at these, what look like wicker pumpkins, they're made of resin, which means you can place these anywhere worry-free. They're a resin wicker pumpkin or the gourd. Well, I should say pumpkin. Here's my gourd. So traditional round pumpkin or the taller gourd, both work really nicely coupled together. They're $32.98. This is the only order of the entire year as well. So really great way to add texture and depth and dimension, but now in a place where you normally couldn't have placed it before because it's not true wicker. It looks like wicker, but it's all nice, sturdy resin. Carrie Lachlan is joining us. Carrie is a home decor and design expert. You've seen her on some of the big national TV shows and series for HGTV and designing with hotels and things of sort. She's got such a knack for creativity too. Carrie, it's good to see you. This is great because I love the look of wicker, but it's kind of limiting in where you can use it when you're decorating.
Absolutely, and you don't like the spiders and the cobwebs and everything else, Allie. I'm sure that get inside
yeah, no thank you.
We're talking about wicker. What I love about these is that we've taken the traditional shape of the gourd and the pumpkin. We've kind of enlarged it, given it that kind of really big status to be here, kind of standing on its own. And then we've done what designers love is that we've added texture. By adding that visual interest, we've really taken a shape that we say is harvest and we say it's Halloween or we say it's Thanksgiving. But if you're somebody who has maybe a farmhouse kitchen or a farmhouse home, for me, this is a piece that just like you, people like their roosters and their chickens, like
good point.
You could absolutely keep this out because it's the beauty and I would say the contemporary vibe of this piece that I love.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So right here's my pumpkin. The pumpkin is 11 by 11 by 9.5. Okay, and then the gourd is about 13.5 inches tall and then 9 by 8. You're right, Carrie. You know, I remember listening to, and you could probably agree with me on this, because sometimes it's really tempting when we walk into the stores, right, to see all the little like knick-knacky Halloween or Thanksgiving or fall decor things.
Yes.
And it's this really cute, and I'll hold it something like this, like a gourd that fits in my hand. And then I bring it home and I try to incorporate it in my space, and it's almost too small.
Yes, when we're talking about design, proportion is so important. And if you're standing in your home saying something doesn't look right, a lot of times it is the proportion. So I always say when we're talking about pieces like this, think about that large mirror you may have, in your entrance when you walk in. Think about our flat screen TVs that take up that huge part of the wall, and maybe we have just that little corner. You put these two together or separately on their own, and what they do is they balance out your space. Perhaps you have a tall plant that sits somewhere and you want something to add a little harvest. This is large enough where it could sit on the floor as well. I mean, you have those two heights. So this one's going to be 13 inches high. So that's a lot of vertical space. You can have the smaller, like we have these little pumpkins coming up earlier or a little later that are the wax ones. They look great kind of mixed in, but we have a ton of large things in our home. So these balance out really, really nicely.
Sometimes I feel like I look at the shelf in the entryway or along the mantle or above the media board, right? And I look at those and there's too many little things happening. This is when you clear those off and just place these two. You will be wildly surprised at how much more impactful it is. Maybe you do have a small little frame. I've got little frames of pictures of my kids or whatever you may have at home. If you want to create a trifecta of 3, you can. But I encourage you, if you can do both of these, it's $10.99 on an easy payment. And to Carrie's point, depending on your home decor, you're leaving these out all year. They're rustic. I mean, honestly, the gourd itself almost plays like Parisian pear. So I'm picturing this too in your kitchen, and it would look beautiful.
It would be fantastic on a kitchen island. It would be, my mother-in-law is actually from Taiwan, and in Taiwan, the gourd is a symbol of good luck. So when I go to her kitchen, there are gourds everywhere. And every time she sees me on QVC, she's coming to visit. She's like, can I see all your gourds? Like, she's so excited because this is a shape for her that means prosperity and longevity, and it will stay out all year round. So, thinking about how we think about our decor is we can always think outside the box. We don't have to be so in there. Even looking at that stem, Allie, it kind of has this really cool shape. Like I have this little tiny piece where I'm just putting a little stem around it to kind of add some softness.
Oh, neat.
But
Yeah.
if you are, look how cute that looks. It's like little jewelry. But say you love Halloween, like a little bit of spiders or some black feathers just draped over here, and then you pop it right off and you have that nice neutral look for the holiday as well.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Remember, these are all resin. I mean,
Yes,
they look
super
exactly like wicker. We can't do a ton of wicker in the house because we have a rabbit. And Sir Alfie McHopsalot will find anything of woven texture. So we try to avoid that or have it in rooms where he does not go. But if you're someone that wants the versatility of being able to have these outside, inside, not have the fuss of having to clean them, this is a resin wicker. You have your choice right here of the pumpkin. And remember, each one's pretty substantial. The pumpkin's 11 by 11. Yeah, I mean, you have 11 inches in width, 11 inches high. And then when you go to the gourd, this gourd is about 13.5 inches. I mean, I do think, Carrie, the gourd is rather gorgeous.
They are really beautiful, and I love them because they're that staple piece. Like when I see them, they are gorgeous.
Thank you.
Allie.
Thank you.
Yes.
But see, I know I just have these on a plain white table, and they're losing their interest. You at home, you probably have wood. Look at what Carrie's done on like a charger.
There you go. I have like a little wood slice, and then if you want to add a little softness, because you know I always talk about hard on hard. So when you have something like this, if you have them set down just like Allie has them, say right next to each other, just by me adding that little tiny bit of a stem right there, you can see how the entire thing just softens up. Maybe place the gourd a little bit behind the pumpkin, and then you can have that varying height of the 13.5 and then the 9 as well.
Okay, here's what happens when you work with Carrie Lachlan. Little things like, yes, look, Carrie, I'm done. I did the entryway. And she goes, no, just take the gourd, Allie, and put it a little bit behind.
Little back.
Ooh,
You get that little caddy, that little bit of a little breaking the corner. Always break the corners.
This is why you watch QVC too. You get design tips, but get these home. You're gonna love incorporating these. Plus, it's the size that we need. $32.98, your gourd or your pumpkin. Carrie, thank you so much. Carrie's gonna be back with some other great ways that we can incorporate pumpkins with a set of 3 aluminum